Call the meeting order for July 11th, 2023. Please stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're good.
All right. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Councilmember Johnstone? Here. Councilmember Richardson?
Present.
Councilmember Crossman?
Here.
Councilmember Smith? Here. Councilmember Hess?
Here.
Councilmember Brooks? Here. Councilmember Kaminsky? Here. Mayor DePinto?
Here. Can we get an agenda approval? Councilmember Hess.
I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Smith. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed say nay. Motion carries. Technical difficulties here. I think we're good. All right, moving on to special presentations. It's not scheduled. Moving on to public comment. Right now, we only have one. Rachel Haskins.
Good evening. My name is Rachel Haskins. I want to start with a part of the Bible verse from Hosea 4:6. Quote, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge," end quote. So I will share some knowledge that I have learned since doing some investigating into whether or not the city of Yelm follows the laws. Unfortunately, the city of Yelm has been trying to silence and dismiss those of us from the unincorporated areas of Thurston County, as Councilman Hess did to me the last meeting. The city of Yelm is a mayor-council form of government. The role of this city council is a legislative policy-making body which determines local laws that regulate community life here. The city council determines public policy, and the city council gives direction to the mayor to administer. The city council needs to use their incredible legislative power to protect the children and citizens of the city through establishing processes and procedures for renting out City of Yelm property, and they should expect the mayor to manage the city with integrity, professionalism, and enforcement of the laws. With so many legal discrepancies that happened on 6/10/23, I feel Mayor DePinto failed to enforce the laws as required by RCW 35A.12.100 as part of his duties as the mayor of the city. A recap of a few of the laws that were broken. Less than 10 of the 50 vendors had business licenses to operate in the city of Yelm. L&I laws protecting workers' rights were violated, and 57 officers were hired for the private security for one business owner. In addition, Mayor DePinto doesn't run his own business by following state and municipal laws. His business, Hometown Consulting, doesn't carry business licenses for the cities he operates in either. Mayor DePinto has been a lobbyist for the city of Ording since 2020 before becoming the mayor of the city of Yelm in 2021. According to public records, Mayor DePinto is paid $1,000 per month to help the city of Ording acquire government grants. Which city is more important to Mayor DePinto, Yelm or Ording? Because both of them pay him. The promoter is already sharing on social media that June 8th, 2024 is the next date they will host their Pride events for the city of Yelm. According to Todd Stansel, the city administrator, there have been no rental applications received or approved for these events. I moved to the city of Yelm, I moved to the Yelm area with the intent to open a business. However, at this time, I do not believe the city of Yelm operates with integrity or competence as a lawful city government. So I'll wrap up with my plea to the city of Yelm businesses and residents. Get involved in your city. If you only knew the power every one of you have, you don't have to be an attorney to ask questions and hold your local government accountable. Just like you're held accountable if you break the laws, they should be too. Thank you.
Any other comments? All right, moving on to consent agenda. We have the June 27th, 2023 meeting minutes and the May 2023 check register and position budget summary. Councilmember Hess.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second? Second by Councilor Kaminsky. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to new business, we have resolution 637, adopting the 2024-29 6-year transportation improvement program. And I think we have Pat to talk about this.
They do, and they're going to let me sit down and do this. So Good evening, Council, Mayor DePino. As most of you know, this, the 6-year transportation plan, commonly referred to as the STIP, is the capital facilities document that guides the transportation funding for a 6-year cycle. The STIP is based on the Yelm Comprehensive Plan and the current Yelm Transportation Plan, and is really kind of the implementation document, if you will, for the overall plan. Although it's a 6-year plan, it's required that it be updated annually per RCW as projects are completed and as new priorities arise. The proposed list is updated annually by the Public Services Department. I guess that would be me. Projects that are not on the STIP are not eligible for state or federal funding. This list does not have to be physically constrained. In other words, the funding sources for each project that are listed there are only identified as either secured or planned. So, but rather this is just a simple list of projects that are planned. For those that are not familiar how the process works, very briefly, the projects that are included in the Regional Transportation Improvement Program, which is called the Regional STIP, is maintained by our MPO, the Thurston Regional Planning Council. There are certain regionally significant projects that are contained in there that go on to be included in the statewide transportation improvement program, the state TIP. So in your agenda packet this evening is resolution number 637. It's requesting adoption of the STIP. But I've also included a list and a summary sheet for the 11 transportation projects that are included in this year's STIP. The only new addition to the list this year is the Roten Road reconstruction project, and the Mosman Avenue Phase 2 project is now completed and has been removed from the list. So if you've got any questions for me either about the projects that are contained in the list or the process, I try to answer them. Yes, sir.
Councilor Richardson.
Yeah, Pat, I was interested to see, I noticed a couple of them had some traffic signals. And so I was just curious about how that would help implement some of the infrastructure and the traffic.
Well, when it says traffic signal, it really probably should say traffic control of some sort. Project at this stage haven't been determined whether they are going to be stop controlled, signal controlled, roundabout, whatever. So remember, this is just a very preliminary, just for a planning project. But yeah, there are, I think, 3 of them in there that involve intersections.
Okay, I just wondering.
Councilor Hess.
In reference to the Bald Hill Road Southeast reconstruction. I know the history of that particular one, and I see that you're looking at trying to just repave, raise the road, do something to get water to no longer flood that. Is that correct?
That's part of it, yeah. The entire road will need to be upgraded, possibly widened. To city standards. It's an old county road still, so it would have some pretty significant upgrades to it.
The reason why I ask is because I know the big issue of the flooding there's been going on since, at least 20 years. I also read the study that was done 15, 20 years ago in reference to why that road floods. Is there a reason why we do not include what that study recommended in reference to fixing this road? And the study recommended that Yelm Creek needs to be managed. It needs to be cleared out so that water will actually flow. And the reason I'm asking this is because fixing one thing at one end is not going to fix the problem. The problem is Yelm Creek needs to be fixed.
Yes, that's definitely part of it. I've got the study that is integral with the road too. So the road obviously will need some raising of the road to avoid the 100-year floodplain. But yeah, that study is really, I should say, is kind of in conjunction with that project. We got some even bigger fish to fry here over the next several years to take care of, but that's certainly one of those that's on my radar.
Any other questions, comments? Councilor Hess.
In addition to, and maybe I'm just misunderstanding where it might be, but we got the Yelm Loop, which is Washington State Department of Transportation. That is the north side of the town to help alleviate traffic through town. The southern side is from various conversations with you and with Public Works Development is we're depending upon developers as they develop to continue to build a movement corridor. Is there a reason why we as a city have not looked at doing that and then having developers add, just like we do with the sewer system and various others that they pay back? And is there a reason why that's not even listed as a project here? Because that would alleviate up to a third of the traffic that comes through, and particularly the commercial vehicle traffic.
Yeah, so you're talking about the southern loop that was
Southern loop.
Walmart down to around the south side of the city. The majority of that is outside of the city limits of Yelm. But we are setting aside right away as development does occur, even if it is in our UGA. We're also looking at doing a portion of that ourselves rather than waiting for the developers. That first section would be beginning at Walmart Boulevard and 507, right by Walmart, continuing south down to Bald Hill Road. That part of the road modeled really well and will do well for traffic. The remainder of it was taken off of WashDOT's long-range transportation, but actually the construction list a number of years ago, it still remains on their planning list. But we have an interest in getting that first part of it done. So,
Thank you for answering.
Any further questions? Look for a motion. Councilmember Kaminsky.
I move to adopt resolution number 37, establishing the 2024 to 29 6-year transportation improvement plan.
Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Hess. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, moving on to old business. There's none scheduled. Moving on to standing council committee reports. Start with the Public Safety Committee.
No meeting.
All right, moving on to Public Services Committee.
No new information.
Finance Committee.
We actually did have a meeting today. It was pretty good. Stephanie Dice does a great job. She's going to be emailing council the cash receipting policy and the EFT policy, so you guys can have a further look into it. I know Councilmember Hess probably want to look at that and take a look at it like a Christmas present. It'll be good. We're going to do good on that one. And then the May check registry looks good. We're doing great. But I did want to point out one thing with the 6-year transportation improvement program. I noticed it said from 24 to 29, which is 5 years, but I'm sure it'll get done in time.
29.
Oh, you count like that? Okay, good. But other than that, everything was good. We've approved the May check registry. Now I feel done, so.
All right, thank you for your report. Moving on to Mayor, City Administrator, staff reports. Todd, you want to
Just a
start?
couple of dates, thank you. So we have community conversations tomorrow at Mariachi with the Public Services Director, Police Chief and Mayor. That's at noon. Everyone's welcome to attend that and engage in some good conversations. The STP bike ride will happen this Saturday and Sunday through town. Everybody gets excited with that. We have a few open positions in the city. We have an assistant associate planner position open. We have an accounting assistant position open, and we have an operations manager position that is open. And all those positions are taking applications currently. Public Services Department, the last of the solar street lights are going up right now. Sidewalk repairs are being done. You may see sidewalks where some grinding has been done to flatten them out. The dog park is still on schedule for groundbreaking at the end of July. And the city park stage construction is set to take place in September. From a recreation department, we have 100 miles in 100 days program going on, as well as the Yelm Junior Readers Summer Program. And a few of us attended the Chamber of Commerce member appreciation lunch today, which was fantastic. That's all I got. I'll save the rest for the mayor.
Thank you, Todd. Tomorrow we do have the signing ceremony for the Budget Watershed Environmental Stewardship Coalition. If any of the council would like to attend, I think actually our Councilmember Brooks is attending. You all are more than welcome to attend that. You should have the information here on the paper. If the actual address isn't there, we'll go ahead and have that sent out. Other than that, I appreciate all those who responded for the council retreat. It's been very difficult trying to get that scheduled out. For sure, two of the two council members aren't going to be able to attend. A third council member requested that we don't have it without the entire council. That being said, we're gonna go ahead and schedule it September 22nd now. It's a Friday, and we'll just do an afternoon. And if you can make it, you can make it. If you can't, you can't. We'll do a bigger retreat when the council is elected, the new council is elected, and takes office in January. So after that, we'll do another one. Yes, Councilmember Hess.
This, in other words, the one in July is canceled as well?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. We're just gonna do this September 22nd. We'll have staff reports. We'll do some team building exercises, talk about some of the bigger projects coming up to City of Yelm. Yeah, Councilmember Richardson.
Thank you for the consideration on that. Seriously, I know it's tough. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, other than that, I attended the 627th Air Base Group Change of Command. Colonel Sikora is going to be the new commander of that, and it was a really nice ceremony. Moving on to council reports. We'll start off with Councilmember Johnston.
I attended the Rotary Club bagging event again last night. There was 34 volunteers that came and they bagged 500 bags that were distributed today and then next Tuesday. The next event will be July 24th. And I participated in the 100 miles and 100 days yesterday with my selfie.
Councilmember Richardson.
I went to breakfast at the senior center. She got me some biscuits and gravy and some bacon and some waffle. Talked with Jeannie there. The senior center is just ecstatic. I don't know, where's Harry? Yeah, he's over here somewhere. They're doing really well. And so whenever I check with them and they really just feel like they got a lot of support from the city. They feel like they got a lot of support from especially council members who show up to those things. So that's a really big plus, guys. Things are going very well at the senior center. So, and Harry, again, thank you for serving on that board there. And
we love our city and our city loves us. It's a wonderful relationship.
yeah, so good news there. And so that was great. And then again, went to the forum today. I always have fun at the forum and, always like to poke fun at Todd when he uses the microphone on his chin. So that's fun. But that was good.
Councilmember Richardson. Councilmember Crossman.
I probably won't be posting selfies for the walks. Maybe I will. I don't know. Saturday I will. But the senior center has been getting updates too. Just want to add on to that. It's getting fixed up.
Yeah.
I'll be there next week. And then nothing else related to council stuff. So.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Crossman. Councilmember Smith.
I attended the Southeast Thurston Fire Authority and just kudos to our fire department over the 4th and everything. They did a great job. And I'll just tag on one more thing. There is a paint night at the senior center. They do them once a month on Thursdays. I don't remember which Thursday it is exactly, whatever this one is. But anyway, they're open to the entire public. So it's a lot of fun. That's it.
Hey, Councilmember Smith. Councilmember Hess.
No new meetings since last time.
All right. Thank you. Councilmember Brooks.
Yeah, since I sat here last, I attended the city employee lunch at the community center the very next day. Then the community resource fair, which is a city sponsored event. And then the last 2 Thursdays, I've been helping serve dinner to our residents. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that Yelm is so good at feeding people. Our residents, we're so well fed. There's almost a dinner or a lunch like every night of the week. So I commend those organizations for doing that. And to tag on to the Southeast Thurston Fire Authority, they're also having an open house at 11 a.m. this Saturday, if anybody is interested in getting a tour of that building. And that's what I have.
Councilmember Brooks. Councilmember Kaminsky.
I didn't have any meetings, but I did attend the Chamber of Commerce 507 drive-by 2 weeks ago. And at that lovely event, I was chatting with the manager of the Prairie Park. And she was telling me about the new film they had coming to town called The Sound of Freedom.
Yes.
It's already here. I hope everybody has seen it. It's the most incredible true story of a Homeland Security officer that goes to find a trafficked child all the way down in the jungles of Colombia. And it's an absolutely true, very intense, but very well done movie. I had friends that were so sensitive. They're like, I'm not going to go see it. I'll be traumatized. But you go and you get the feeling of what it is without the trauma. So, and at the end of the movie, the star, Jim Caviezel, who plays the real life character, Tim Ballard. He comes on the screen and he says, tell the story, tell people to go see it. And their goal was to pre-sell 2 million tickets, 1 ticket for every missing child in the world, 2 million kids. So these are very, very real. And they said that there's more slavery today than there was when slavery was legal in the world. So this is a real, true thing. We all need to be aware. We can all make a difference. The movie came out on Independence Day, which was great. And even as recently as the southern border in our new administration, there are officially 85,000 missing kids from other countries. They're just gone. So this trafficking is a real, true, real life issue. I've read some things online where people are saying, oh, that's just QAnon. That's not, supposedly that's true. They show real footage of the guy really doing this. So it's a true hero story and I recommend it to everybody. And it's on at least all through next week at the theater. And the other good part, the good news is I am going to the air show this weekend at JVLN. And there's nothing like standing on the runway when the F-18s take off right in front of you. So I'm really excited to go. That's my report.
Thank you, Councilmember Kaminsky. We give me no executive session. Councilmember Smith, is there a second? All those in favor say aye.